Hey there, everybody. And
We gotta wave to invite Doug.
well, Doug has to be on here first. So, hello,
Hi,
everyone.
everybody.
Welcome to Union Stories.
Union stories.
And as you can see, there is
There's a union here, but
2/3 of a union.
well, we're a union.
That is true. Technically, we.
Just have
Oh,
to remind
Doug
you.
Hager
Hey,
is
there's
watching.
Doug. Wait,
Go. Let's see here.
invite
We want
him.
to try something.
He's a blue elephant. I know where that comes.
So now Doug needs to. Okay, fingers crossed for us here.
There's a pot.
He's watching.
He popped up.
Bring him. Bring him on camera.
Did that work?
Hey, there's Doug. There's Doug. I can do this.
Oh yeah.
Where are we at, Doug? Where are we at for you? Are we here? You were here. Doug's up there while we're down there.
Doug's like a pigeon sitting on my head. I didn't.
Is this working? Can you hear me?
It's
It's
working.
Are we on?
You're live.
Okay, keep it easy. It was really that easy, wasn't it?
It's fairly that easy.
Yeah, it's actually
even,
pretty easy.
Easy enough for old people.
Hello, Katie.
Yep.
So, Doug, did you have a good holiday weekend?
It was too short. How about you guys?
Well, it was too short, but then actually too long in order for me to do enough work. So I'm just getting home from work. Had to rush to get here for you guys.
No, don't say stuff like she was almost late, everyone, because of rockstar reasons.
Rockstar reasons.
It had to be rockstar reasons, right?
Of course. Hey, Dave McGuire.
Not real world reasons, but so we're here to actually we got a couple things. We have a little special announcement we're going to make towards the end of our union stories.
Yes, we do, and I totally remember what that was.
Why is it that Doug and you both kind of look confused right now when I said that?
Doug, this is when we have to be together.
Well, then we'll all be surprised.
That's right.
Here in a few minutes. But before we get to our special announcement that I will prompt you guys on, and then you'll go, oh, yeah. We're here to talk Union Stories, track number, what is it, 4? Is this week 4?
Is it 4?
It's 4.
4? What is 4?
St. Francis Bay.
St. Francis Bay.
He's going to play something.
Can you hear that? Little background music. It needs to be very much in the background so that people can hear us. What's up, Dave?
Like David Poole. David Poole needs to hear it.
But yeah, St. Francis Bay, a song in it. I know it's kind of interesting, I guess, in the fact that all three of us were pretty vocal in the documentary back after we finished our first album. That you know how excited we were to be doing something new and getting ready to work on new songs. And here we are again, track 4, and we're talking about a song that's going on 20 years old, about ish, you know.
Also the one I said that you sounded sexy.
That also is a plus.
I'm not sure what's going on right now. There's a lot of like talking, but it's like that. I don't know what you're saying.
Can you? I can hear you.
We can hear you fine.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. So hear us now. We were talking about the fact that this song is, even though it's a new song on our album, it's also around 20 years old.
Oh my God, is it that old?
It's as old as me.
It was written in July of 2000.
Wow.
And we got an old maybe 2003, 2004 version I've got playing here behind me. No backing vocals on this one. But I mean, that's one of those that fell through the cracks. If you remember, you know, we had all these songs that we had written, when we got together to, it never really was considered for the first album at all for whatever reason. And then when it came time for album number two, um, we sat down to look at our stash of songs to see what we might have. And this one re-entered the conversation. Do you remember how that happened, Doug?
I just heard it happen, Doug, in conversation.
Yeah, Lavetta also
Music
said that
was
Doug
not
is
working.
right. So perhaps there are audio issues. Hey, Pooh Bear,
There,
you're watching. Can you hear us? Comment to us and make sure that we can hear it, that you can hear
I
us.
think there's some streaming issues. I'm not sure we have enough bandwidth to do this or what.
Okay.
I mean, it was sort of, kind of.
Well, I'm hearing you, so
Yeah, we're hearing you fine. That's
yeah. Every now and then I'm hearing like a little, a little noise there, but maybe that's when we're having the streaming issues. So we'll watch for that noise. I'm presuming you can hear us what we're saying right now, and
Yes, I can hear you.
so what we are talking about is, do you remember how this song came back into the conversation for us?
Actually, I do not.
I don't either. It's weird to me that this was a song. I mean, it was a song that we had for the longest time. It was never considered for album one. I don't know why, considering we all liked it. And it's almost as if we forgot about it. And then miraculously, with album two, uh, suddenly we started to like, oh yeah, here's this song. Everybody likes this song, right? And I remember we sang it on in that very first session when we got together for the second album, and it worked out real well. So,
some of that. Okay, now it's gone.
I don't know if you want to talk about the music a little bit, or we could talk about the lyrics first, the story behind the song.
You know, I didn't realize the song was that old, but now that you said that, I seem to remember when I was living in the Emmons Senior apartment building in downtown Huntington. There was a storm one night, and it was really great to record. I just opened up a window with the thunder and the lightning. Well, obviously I couldn't record the lightning, but with the thunder and the rain hitting the pavement and everything outside, and the cars going by, it made like a really cool ambience to the track that I recorded underneath it. But I don't remember whatever came of that. I think I don't know if there's a version of that exists. If anybody has it, you probably do, since you're a historian.
That version I was playing low in the background so as to not like overwhelm us trying to talk. Yes, there is claps of thunder and everything in the background of that. So that must be the storm that you were referring to. I thought that those were sound effects. I didn't realize you'd actually recorded the storm.
That's the real deal. I mic'd up Huntington for that one.
Awesome.
Well, speaking of the real deal, the song itself is a true story. No true stories really on album number one. A lot of things that we fictionalized, but on this album we have two true stories between Going to See the Trees, which we'll talk about later in future episodes, and this we have two completely true stories. St. Francis Bay was lyrically a song that I came up with based on a news account that I had read in the newspaper, and the story just really captivated me. And I guess I sort of put on my journalism hat in this instance, and almost every detail that is in this story is true to the facts of what was in this article. The summation of the story. Hopefully, you all have listened to the song and did your homework like we did ours.
If not, listen to it. But after this,
As Doug would say, it's streaming everywhere.
everywhere.
Streaming.
Get his shirts. He needs more shirts, so please stream often. But yes,
I need to get this to more kids in Walmart.
The story is centered on Carrie Miller and her husband Raymond, who were a real couple that lived in Arkansas. And in the 1930s, they got married, and they only had about 4.5 years together before Raymond had a car accident that sent him into St. Francis Bay. An icy bridge, an icy wooden bridge, that he was not able to navigate, sent his car crashing into St. Francis Bay. And for all the intervening years, Carrie never really spoke of Raymond. Family and friends said that she would, quietly change the subject when it came to talk about remarry, or anyone else would say he was the love of her life and just would go on. As time passed along, so did most of Carrie's friends and as well as family. Carrie and Raymond had a child who died of a heart attack in his 50s. So she really had no one. And at a certain point, she got out into her Buick, which was 15, 20 years old. And as most 15, 20-year-old cars owned by little old ladies, at this point, it had only a couple thousand miles on it. I imagine she just had taken it to and from church or bill paying or something along those lines. And at age 94, she went back to St. Francis Bay, and it had been so long and things had changed so much since the 30s, obviously. But she had trouble and had to even ask directions as to how to actually get to St. Francis Bay. And once she found out how to do so, she drove her Buick into the bay and committed suicide. So I know it is a tragic story, but in many ways it's also kind of a tragic romantic story that obviously she carried this torch for this man for 66 years that she lived on this earth without him. And when she had no one left, she decided she wanted to rejoin him and drove her Buick into the bay. And just like I detail in the song, the car had such a tight seal that she floated along for many yards from where she drove into the bay. And by the time the car submerged, she obviously had no way of knowing this, and she didn't even know how to find St. Francis Bay. But it ended up, ironically enough, coming to rest at almost the very spot where the old wooden bridge had been in the 1930s. So she literally perished in the same general vicinity as Raymond had done all those years before. And just that idea that she held on to that for so long captivated me. And again, I think I put on maybe my journalism hat for this one because the song sort of wrote itself. There's a lot of details in this song, and almost every last one of them had come from the story here. And so I'm going to do something else here real quick, different. I'm going to flip us for a second.
If we can.
If we can. We
Nope.
can. So I kept the clipping, and that's Carrie Miller in her 90s. There's about the spot where the car had come to rest. And there's Raymond and Carrie in their 30s, back when they were young. Eternal Love,
In the 30s.
the headline, and I'm glad I'm glad I kept hold of this because honestly, I was so captivated by the story. I thought that it would be easy to find out there, and I know it's been 20 years since I wrote the song, and there really isn't a whole lot in the way of details regarding this whole incident now. So I'm glad I held on to this for my own well-being and satisfaction. Yeah, I really had thought this would be a great song for a video, and I have some video ideas, and I thought that there would perhaps be news accounts in the same way that there was the written news account, but I could not find any of that stuff. So I'm glad I held on to this. But yep, Carrie and Raymond were real folks, and had a beautiful love story that we were able to tell. And if we want to talk maybe a little bit about the making of the actual song, obviously this is the story behind it, the lyrics behind it. But to me, I think it comes to life in some of Doug's production and what you have going on behind me in the backing vocals.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this has always been a song that I loved ever since I think you first wrote it and I read it. It's just a beautiful telling of the story. um, that of course I hadn't heard. And then I think as we started working out the song, maybe you and Doug had worked it out, and then I was brought in years ago to just do some backing vocals on it, and it was always just a haunting, just a hauntingly beautiful, sad love story. But and so I think that what we were trying to, capture with that was that. And so, in this go around of recording it for me, it was just a matter of trying to capture some of the beauty and the sadness
If
of
you,
the haunting that's
if
in there.
I would advise listening with headphones because you really can sense Doug's production and what she is doing. I really think all the subtle accents that you've got going on in that song really keep it moving, bring it to life. And of course, Doug's production getting the stuff to the forefront where it's behind the main vocals, but it's still something that you can pick up on if you're listening on headphones. Little sighs, little just I don't know, just little repeats of certain lines that just came kind of intuitive to her. I really think I don't know, it definitely made it more of a relationship song to get, I think the two voices in there together. And I think what you have going on makes it really sad.
No, I think that, and I appreciate you saying that. I also think one of the things that I always think of, even the way the song starts off with Doug's music there, the guitar part and everything, and maybe it's just because I'm so familiar with the song, and it is one of my favorite songs on the album, but the music even almost sounds like this old, like I picture an old car pulling out in this with this intention of this that Gary Miller had. It's like, to me, there's even a haunting and an intention in the music of it. Again, this is one of my favorite songs, and I feel like a lot of the this song was done with such an intention, whether it was the intention of writing it and telling the story right, whether it was adding the hauntingness to it, or and just again, I love the guitar part that just sounds to me. I picture this old car pulling out with this intention in mind. So it's just a song I care a great deal about.
We also, at one point early on in the process of the new album, what's up, Randy? We had a version of this song that we liked, and Doug can. This would probably be the one that I think that you probably can talk about because Doug described it when he told me, "Now I'm going to play you something, and it's different." And when I sent it to you, what I was thinking is Streets of Philadelphia meets Radiohead, which of course, like immediately my ears go, okay, I'm in, I'm all in. But that approach ultimately ended up not being what's on the album. Can you talk a little bit about what you were doing, Doug, and why we didn't go that way?
I change our songs so much and try so many things. I totally do not remember that. It's really hard to tell what I was doing at that point, but it sounds like an awesome combo. I mean, I see where I was trying to sell it on you. I go Springsteen and Radiohead.
Well, okay, jog your memory. I have it queued up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I can hear this.
Do you hear the drum machine?
Is it short in the speaker?
So yeah, I'll turn that down. But so that syncopated drum machine goes on throughout the entirety of the song, and of course, at first, that really threw me. It's like, what in the world? And the more I listened to it, it grew on me so much so that when it ended up being taken out, I missed it. Do you remember now? Does that ring a bell?
Honestly, I don't. I think it sounds kind of cool, but I don't remember it. It sounds more like that. Oh, that Hey Kids Rock and Roll. I don't know who does it. But
yeah, rock on.
Yeah,
I know
Yes,
what
I know what
you're
you're
talking
talking
about.
It has like a really 80s sound to it, which is not Springsteen meets Radiohead at all, but
When I first heard it, it reminded me a bit like a Wham song or something. It sounded like the beginning of like an '80s like Wham.
very much an 80s feel
I,
with
th- I
those
think there was
drums.
I think there was a bit of a timing issue or something that you said that you couldn't get it. It would go in and out of time over the course of the production for some reason. He is old, James. You're absolutely
Absolutely, you're right. I'm the grumpy old man in the band.
so.
So.
Who knows? Maybe that version worked after all, and Doug just in his old man forgetfulness thought that it didn't work, and maybe that was the way we should have gone after all. It could be a bonus track at some point in time. Maybe there's a EP out there waiting to happen, but who knows? But anyway, that's pretty much the story behind St. Francis Bay. Unless you two have anything else.
I'm good.
I will mention this. I could
Listen to it.
I could not find any video news accounts. I was able to find the article that inspired the song itself on the LA Times, and I have it scheduled to post on our page tomorrow. So for those who are really into lyrics or you just really want to read a beautifully sad
story,
love story, the news account on that inspired St. Francis Bay will be on our page tomorrow. So the other thing that I will mention is no one else remembers. Oh, we lost Doug.
Oh no!
Now we can talk about him.
Yeah. What do you want to say about him? Sometimes he throws out stuff, and it's really funny because we talk about all of these old recordings and stuff, and like sometimes I was just thinking about how many times Doug sends us something, and we're listening to it together, of course. And then he does something maybe experimental like that. Like I'm thinking Radiohead meets Streets of Philadelphia or whatever. And we go, and we like look at each other. You got to look at me. We reenact that. Like, we kind of.
Let's do that again.
Okay. Yeah. What's Doug thinking? And then it grows on us. And we like listen to it a few times or something. But I don't know that one grew on us. Hence why it didn't.
It grew on me. I really liked that version of it, but and as soon as I really liked it, Doug decided we couldn't go with it for whatever reason. And now I love this version of it, and it's one of the reasons I was hoping that we could maybe end up, getting a video of it. But never say never. But obviously we got some other things going on, other things that we'd like to talk about, and I'll actually give that over to.
We have no Doug.
Wait a minute. There was a Doug, and now the Doug is gone.
Oh my gosh.
I think Doug is having problems. So let's talk about our announcement.
All right. Our announcement. I believe it has something to do with a video, does it not, Kevin?
Thank you for remembering. And we have a new video. It is not St. Francis Bay, but we thought we'd take this opportunity while we're live to mention the fact that we have a new video that world premieres next Thursday. And that is
on Facebook.
On Facebook, on YouTube.
Doug's phone died.
Doug did not charge his phone in advance. That's okay, Doug. We'll make the announcement for you, buddy.
You're off the hook, Doug.
Since Doug didn't even know what we're announcing, this will be a surprise to him too.
I got it. Doug.
She remembers. What is the song, Jerry, that we have a video for?
One of those songs on our album, Kevin.
Jerry, which song is it? This is why it was important for you to be here.
It would be the video for Search Engine Fire.
Search Engine Fire, one of Jerry's tracks on the song, or on Kids on the Same Ride.
Later on the album, but...
So Kids on the Same Ride has 12 tracks on it. Jerry sings lead on a couple of those songs, and this will be the first time.
The only ones Kevin will let me sing lead on.
This will be the first time we've released a single and video of one of Jerry's songs. So we have her front and center in a way that she's very comfortable with. So That is next Thursday, and looking here at my calendar, that it makes it the September the 12th.
September 12th.
September 12th at 7 o'clock on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be premiering Search Engine Fire, and hopefully you all will tune in for that and enjoy that, and we can maybe talk a little bit about the making of the video when we later on in Union Stories, when we get to the part about Search Engine Fire. But for now,
until then,
we'll say
until next Tuesday.
Thank you for joining us, and
we'll see you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, we'll move on.
You're not rid of us yet. See, we like you, and we want to spend time with you.
Track number 5 next week,
which is the 5th track on our album.
That is excellent math skills there, Jerry. Thank you for joining us.
Ask Doug what the name of it is.
Do not ask Doug what the name of it is. He does not know. When his phone gets back online, text him and ask him what the 5th track of the album is, and he'll probably ask what album. And well, then
and who are you?
That would be a good logical
question. And why are you in my phone?
Thank you for letting us in your phone. Join us next Tuesday night.
Or your computer.
And next Thursday night as well.
Thanks for joining. See you guys.